Hello everyone and welcome back to another showcase on Warframe. Today's item, the Seer, Captain Vor's personal sidearm. So my question is choice of firearms. Allow me to explain. So this weapon, you get it relatively early in the game, or you just gotta spam Captain Vor as you gotta fight him repeatedly to get the blueprint and parts. But this weapon is not worth it. And I'll explain why. So, it has an excellent zoom-in feature, like almost sniper rifle grade zoom-in, and it has accuracy boast of a Lex, so that's nice. But the biggest problem with this whole entire weapon, you probably already noticed in the stats, it has no critical chance whatsoever. This is not a critical weapon. It can never be one. Doesn't matter the mods at all, you will do nothing with it. But luckily it has equal damage for all three categories, so that's nice. So, with no critical at all, the status is also quite low. Not to mention the reload time is nearly 3 seconds. The fire rate's also low and has a magazine of 8 shots. So yes, this is a mixed, kind of a trail mix of mediocre things going on right now. Not a whole lot of good, to be honest. Even that super zoom in isn't going to be that helpful, as you'll see later on. Now, as I mentioned before, the way you get this is by attacking Captain Vor. You must fight him repeatedly for the blueprint and parts. How fun. Very tedious to fight the beginning boss. So, that zoom in is real good. Problem though, the projectile speed is actually poor. It does not travel very quickly. You shoot, depending on where you shot, it'll take half a second for your shot to arrive. So, despite your excellent zooming capabilities, you'll have a hard time hitting people at long range if they're moving. Yes, so the main attraction to this weapon already kind of screws up. Yeah, we're off to a great start with this weapon. Now that said, fighting in close quarter combat is not advised. I'd rather use a Lex any day, because a Lex does not put me at ×4 zoom in. This is incredibly difficult to use in close quarters. And the zoom-in could be better. I have to usually aim in front of my opponents at almost any distance aside from point blank, which is difficult to use. So it's not that great at long range, and it's horrible at close range. And at medium range, you'll still be zoomed in a little too much. So yes, this is a level 30 in test weapon. And I'll show you why. There's another problem with this weapon. So we can see we've got my Hornet Strike and Barrel Diffusion, putting out nearly 200 damage in all three categories, equaling up to almost 600 damage. So, that sounds pretty good. I should be able to level out any opponent, level 30 wise, and get away with it pretty easily. Should down him 1 to 2 shots. Except, it doesn't do that. Now, I'm assuming the devs aren't going to change this weapon anytime soon since it's been in this state for several updates. For the last 7 updates. But this weapon's broken. The number value does not actually reflect the damage being done, at least not correctly. So we got almost 600 damage, so every category of enemy at least takes 400 some damage, roughly. But allow me to show you what the problem is. So I'll get some Grenadiers, put them to level 10. The level? Let's go level 35. No higher. Level 35 will do just fine. The damage value is not correct. As you see here, despite me putting out 200 puncture and more than that, I am not doing very much damage to these level 35 enemies. These guys are just level 35. 200 damage with almost any other weapon would do actually a significant amount, killing enemies in 2 to 3 shots. This weapon generally does it in 3 to 5 shots. And that, I'm doing more than just 200 puncture. So you see there's something wrong with this weapon, game-wise, like stat-wise. Numerical values are wrong. So I'm not sure the devs never noticed it, or just don't care, because this is like a beginning weapon. And not to mention, I don't recommend it as a beginner weapon, because I forgot to mention, to build it, it takes an Orkin Cell. Beginners don't have an Orkin Cell. So you have to go grind through the game to get the Saturn by the time they have other weapons. Or they have to go out and buy an Orkin Cell, which is just a poor choice to do. So you can see why I don't put much effort into this weapon in terms of formas, because I won't. It's a waste of formas and a waste of a catalyst. But anyway, you saw how poor it did get against Grenier. So let's try a different foe. Let's go against the Corpus Thermoas, who clump together. Make it quicker to kill them, but only mildly. We'll be at the same level of level 35. So since I have no hopes of hitting criticals, and the status is only 20%, and even after mods I could probably boost up to 40%, but still that's not that great. We can see here, despite 200 impact and other damage, still got the slash in there, still got the puncture, I'm still doing mediocre damage to these enemies. They're level 35. Seriously, they're level 35. I could probably take a Lato and get almost the same results in this kind of battle if I put a barrel diffusion and a horn strike on it. Of course, I covered the Lato a very long time ago and I already expressed my feelings on this, and this weapon's not exactly much better. It's just a bigger gun that still shoots shit. Finally, let's go against the Infestation. These guys don't have anything but health. Nothing but raw health. And we're level 35. So 200 slash. 200 slash, and look at this. Look. Would you use this weapon against the Infestation? I can think of multiple reasons not to. 2 to 3 hits for every infested charger. That means I kill 2 enemies, and I'm like 2.5 enemies, and I must reload. It's a 3-second reload time. You can see why I don't like this weapon, and many people don't. Moving on to the pros and cons of the Seer. There's going to be quite a few cons, but on the pro side, you got excellent zoom in. It damages all enemies equally. That's it. On the con side, the numerical value of the weapon's broken. The projectile speed is too slow for the zoom in. It has no critical chance. It has a very long reload time. And you know what, I'm going to stop the cons there, because otherwise that'll be taking forever. I won't have enough room in my little bar section. Moving on to the score for this Seer. Damage gets a 3 out of 10. At least it damages all enemies equally, and that's the only reason why it gets a 3. Accuracy though gets a 9 out of 10. That's the best category, because sure enough it's on the dot every time. I just wish the bullet got there faster. Design-wise, a 1 out of 10. Because they designed it to be decent, but for some reason the numerical value is still broken, after many updates have passed. Ammo-wise gets 7 out of 10. It's solid. You get quite a few shots. You won't run out anytime soon. This gun gets also 1 out of 10. Why? Because it has that zoom-in feature which it advertises and it hinders you, because the projectile speed is slow, and then you can't even use it in close quarters combat very easily at all. So in total, the Seer gets 21 out of 50, clearly classified as bad. So clearly, if the devs ever fix this weapon, I'll change this video, but I don't expect to do that anytime soon, because they sure as I'll let every opportunity pass by. But oh well, like I could do anything about that. No, I am not doing a future build for this weapon. Why? It's a broken weapon. Clearly the numerical value is not reflected properly in this weapon. If they ever fix it, then I'll do a future build if it's not worth it still then. But since this weapon is numerically broken, it is not worth a future build, and it should be ignored at all costs, unless you're going for just pure XP. If you're doing that, you don't need my future build on it. Anyway, for judgment, I don't know why I have a judgment. I don't even need this in this video. It's clearly a no. This weapon's broken. It's difficult. It's tedious to acquire. You need an organ cell. It's projectiles. There's so many things wrong with this weapon. It's just broken. But it may be my opinion, but I'm pretty sure many share it. But that's been Showcase for today. I thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care out there. Want to see a particular weapon here on Showcase? Leave a comment down below, and it might be just next weapon I choose. I'd like to thank you for watching. Before you go though, Durandal does have a community page on the PS4. Feel free to join if you have any questions or just want to chat. Anyway, take care out there. See you next time.